guys, this is Tracy from Ohio Fish Rescue. I'm here to tell you about my koi and how Big Rich and Josh has gotten me into it. The very first fish that Rich got me was my butterfly platinum ogon. And let's try and find her here.
You can't find it. There she is.
There she is.
Now
I didn't know that Big Rich was training me to get into the fish hobby. Because
but you did love your koi.
Yes, I did love my koi.
What did you love about it?
The beautiful fins, flowing.
It was like your, what, underwater?
It was like my flowing wedding dress under the water, under the sea.
Too cute. Okay, so then I started getting you more koi.
Yes, then 1 became 2, then 2 became 5.
Then you got a bigger tank.
Then I got a bigger tank.
And there's been no stopping you since, huh?
Yes, he cannot get rid of no koi. Because all of them come to me. So yes, it is an addiction.
You want to grab the food and feed them? See, everybody says it's so crowded, but you know they're spread out, and then on the ends there's none there. They all come to where you stand. So if you just see that picture right there, it looks like way too many in there. But then on both sides, the tank's empty as can be because they crowd right by you, thinking they're going to get food. And these are some of the plants that came in. We appreciate you guys sending the plants. We put a 100-watt grow bulb in here and in here. So for some reason the plants are like building up under the lights. I don't know how they're doing it, but they do. And there's all her boys eating now. There's just a big collection of koi now, to where, you know, the whole Greg Wittstock thing was supposed to be her koi pond. I was going to build her out back, but you know, he wanted to build it out front, and he made sense, saying that nothing out front of the house here made it look like Ohio Fish Rescue. So he said the koi pond out front would be perfect. Well, everything was going great, and you know, he built a beautiful pond. We appreciate Aquascape and Greg Wittstock for that, and Tracy still loves it to this day. But you know, we had a thief come and take all the koi out of there. And they were just koi that we had just recently rescued too. They weren't none of Tracy's koi that are in her tank here. They were in a 1,000-gallon tub out on the back deck. Well, we put them in there, and they were there for about a week, and they got stolen. So now we can't put no koi out front. It has become our goldfish pond. And, you know, if people need goldfish for their pond or whatever, they can come by and get some. We'll give them away. Any fish in the front pond we can find a home for, and we can take in other goldfish. But please don't do like somebody did. We came home one day and there was about 50 more goldfish into our pond. Now what that did was take the quarantine system out of our hands. They took their fish and put right in there. Well, there was a lot of them with fin rot, there was ick. I had to now treat the whole 2,500-gallon pond for the sicknesses. And we lost about 7 goldfish out of that whole fiasco. Please don't come here and just put fish into the koi pond if we're not here. Call us, set up an appointment. We'll make sure we're here on your schedule so that, you know, we can take these fish in. But we would never add them straight to the pond. We would go through quarantine, get them all healed up, and then acclimate them slowly to the colder temperature of the pond and whatnot. But yeah, we give them out all the time and take in and put in there. And now that it's wintertime, it's pretty well sealed off for the winter. But we have goldfish here. As a matter of fact, come on over here. Tracy, you want to show us where they're at? Sorry for the mess in here, but we've gotten in a new 110-gallon, and we're moving things around. We're actually taking this 75-gallon off of here today. I'm going to put the 110 there. Okay. Here's some goldfish that we've taken in, and we can find homes for if anybody likes them and wants goldfish. We can definitely give them to you. We have Oscars here and other fish that we can give out. We still have this Cuban cichlid. He's getting better. He was covered in that fungus stuff, but he's getting better. But he's in a tank by himself being medicated. And come on over here. We've got this big wall tank we got to set up yet for just a display type tank. But if anybody's got goldfish, you can bring them by, and if you want some, we'll give them to you. That's no problem. Just don't come by and stick stuff in our pond. You take the way I treat my fish out of my hands and then put it into whoever's hands that throws the fish in there. And you get my fish sick, or you get your fish sick. Fish get stressed and moving, and they release. What people don't realize is all these sicknesses are in the fish already, but their immune system is fighting it off. And then you stress them out moving it, and you tell me, oh, my fish are they're great health. They didn't have ick when I put them in the bucket and brought them over to you, but the stress of moving them, it can come out no problem. And they can not fight it off, and then it breaks out, and then you have an ick breakout. So it's not the tank or the fish. It's in, just like humans. Your immune system is fighting a constant war. There's sicknesses in you right now. They're not flared up. They're not winning because your immune system is winning. Same thing with fish. It's fighting off all these different diseases that are in every fish, basically. So, now, to get back to Tracy, is this your only koi tank?
No.
And why is that?
Because I just keep on getting more and more and more.
You want to show us the rest?
Sure.
Okay. We'll follow you. You pass by these insignificant little 4,000 and 3,000 gallon tanks like it's nothing.
We have...
Because you want to show people about your koi.
Well, we do have the... I don't know what size tanks they are.
Okay, let me walk up on them. This here is a 190 we got from Jim Kitchen, and we're basically lining up the back of the pool with a background. So all these live plants, we're waiting for them to take over and bush out. You see we got light on these new ones that we just planted, and we're mounting lights up here on the ceiling pointing down, spotlight grow bulbs, so that all this will be lit up. And in the background, we're going to do all live plants in there after we get things situated. But right now she's got a couple of koi in here, and then we're brought over by somebody and put into here because the temperature was warmer then. Right now we have the center tank. That's a 220. That was built by Steve Shin and donated to us. And then on the other end we have a 190. Let's walk over there. So what do you think about this whole fish situation getting out of hand, Tracy?
It's getting out of hand.
How is it out of hand? We can't hear you, hon.
I said we just keep on getting more and more fish, and we have to build on, and you know.
So what's out of hand about it? Come here. Come here. What's out of hand?
Everything.
How?
We need more space. We need.
Oh, you sound like me now.
We need a warehouse.
Yes. Okay, now here's the other 190. Now this one is for special goldfish with like super long fins, arandas, ryukins, stuff like that. Let me see if I can get in closer. These will be on display at the back of the pool here. So basically all these will not be koi. These will all be display fish. But now see, we're going to have these hooked in. We're going to have a pump running up to the top of the tank, and it'll be drizzling in, and it'll overflow out and come down to the river, and then run all the way through all the plants and then back to the pool, so that they'll be on the same system as this. Right now they're not, but you can see, a lot of them goldfish are just beautiful. And arandas, she loves them all. But when me and Josh built this here setup, we added onto the Greg Wittstock setup. I can't move this tree, but see this half inch? That's what we're going to run up to the top of all three of these tanks. And then we'll have a valve on each one. You can turn up or down the drip on each one. And what I want is like a drip, 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 about that speed going into the tanks. Then I can put live plants in there and, some sort of substrate to hold the plants rooted down, and that'll help, filter our system better. But now Tracy's gone on a bunch of, here, Trace, why don't you tell them?
I've gone on a bunch of rescues.
Recently,
Yes.
where, hold up, where people didn't want to winterize their pond, or they're tired of their pond, and they just called us, said, come pick up the koi, I'm closing down the pond, I'm filling it in, whatsoever. So we didn't have a place for them, being that they were cold watered outside in the 30, 40 degree water. So what we did Don't mind this big blue tub. That's there for water changes, because this out here is not on our system. I put this big filtration system together. We first had it on just an FX5, and there was only a few fish in here. And you guys saw in one of our videos us setting this tub out here. Well, now we set this up and hooked up a big filter to it, and here is the koi. They're getting a little bit thicker in here. There's at least 60 or 70. I think there was 60 when we moved this tub back here, and now there's probably another 10 or 14 added in there. So this is her spare koi, but out here it's not really that cold now, is it?
No, it's not. It's comfortable.
Wait, you're out here in your shorts and your socks.
Yeah.
So it's I'd say it's 55 out here. And what this is our back deck. But see the plastic around the hole outside? Me and Joshy come out here and we taped it up from the top, so there's like really no gap behind this pole here, and it holds the air in here. Well, then we took it down and we put it on furring strips and wrapped it up and screwed it in at the bottom. So this lasts all winter. And the reason for this is we have this exhaust fan right here from the pool room. We can't have all the moisture in the pool room. The beams will actually warp and the roof will sag in. So that's an exhaust fan. Well, it's exhausting out warm air, and it was just going outside. In the wintertime, it'd just be steamy air coming out the side of the building. So I enclosed it into my back deck. Well, the back deck now gets filled up with air, and then the air goes down through the boards by your feet. So anybody that comes over, we're a non-smoking family, but anybody that comes over and smokes goes out on the back deck right there, and they can smoke out there, and the air just gets pushed down between the boards and out to the outside. Take us back into your koi. So now we can also use that as a temporary holding spot for the koi, because this summer, what are we doing?
Gonna build another koi pond on the back deck.
Hold up, turn around. You're walking away and talking. Now, what are you making me do this summer?
Build me my koi pond on the back deck.
That I promised you in the first place.
Yes, you promised me 2 years ago.
But you can't yell at me. Greg
know.
Wittstock came here and he made us.
Yes.
It was a good idea to put it out front at the time, right?
Yes.
So it's nobody's fault,
No, it's not.
but your koi still don't have a pond.
Right. Exactly. So we need
So-
a bigger koi pond.
We are digging her a big koi pond this summer, and all these koi will be outside, which is going to help me a lot, because now we'll have this whole tank right here opened up for regular fish, not the koi fish, which don't need to be in here. I like having them on display, but again, we'll have the three tanks at the back of the pool pond for fish on display. And then, this here can open up 750 gallons for other fish, tropical fish. And then her koi, we can have that blue tub that's on the back deck right now for your new intakes and quarantine system, and then you can put them into your pond after that. How's that going to work? You like that?
We'll see. We'll see if it works out. I hope it does.
Okay. Now, let me see here. Anything else we need to tell them about? Any koi-related business here? They are just beautiful, though. Look at these guys. Oh, who are the people that first got you started on this, other than me giving you a koi, when you went on your first big koi rescue? They gave you like 7 of your biggest koi that you've had.
Yeah. Their names,
Sean and
Jenny.
yeah, that's it, Lambert.
Yes, Lambert. The Lamberts. I blame them. They also got me a big fish.
You don't blame them. You say thank you,
Thank you.
because you still love their fish to this day.
Yes,
And they
still in
actually,
my tank.
yes, and they actually had a recent visit about 2 months ago, I think, or 3 months ago. They were able to come up here and see their fish after almost a year of being gone, and they just loved it. And they loved having, being able to see them in such a much bigger area. And Sean, he's the one that gave us that Indian shovel nose in the pool out there.
Yes.
He loves seeing that out there.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's a win-win for everybody. So we're going to try these plants out and see how they work in here. They might not work. The koi might eat them, and they won't be able to grow as fast as the koi eat them. I don't know, but we're trying. We're going to cover all of our plants, all of our tanks in plants to help us with these nitrates so I can turn down the water flow coming in. Our water bill is kind of ridiculous, so but I have to have a steady flow coming in. And here we had a recent mishap. Our nitrates are usually at about 15 to 20 parts per million constantly. Well, what did they go up to recently? Do you remember? Josh did the thing and we've been running water since.
No, I don't remember what
It was 80 parts per million.
Wow.
And yes, and we didn't know, but the hose had gotten kinked for the water coming in. Let me show you that over here. This hose here runs from our tub all the way behind all this stuff and up into here and into the wash tub in the laundry room. Well, it had gotten kinked under the door and we didn't know, so it shut off. And we're sitting here, all this water's being pumped up to there, all that water falls back into here, and it all one big system, so that all the filtration in the fish room is on this water. All the filtration from here, which was newer, it's about 8 months old now, was also filtering there. So everything was running good, but because, you know, we got used to testing once every couple weeks and it's staying at about 15, 20 and we're doing good, we got the right amount of water dripping in, we thought it was still dripping in. Well, it built up to 80 and we actually lost our tigrinus from nitrate poisoning. And we didn't know what was wrong with him. He just started swimming like straight up and in circles around. Josh has got a video about this, but this is what caused it. We finally figured out, and we've been putting water in since, and we got the nitrates down to about 10 parts per million right now. So now we can slow down the water coming in and just maintain this level of water back to the drip that it was before, which wasn't a drip, it was a steady stream, about a quarter of this. So if you cut that in half and then cut it in half again, ooh, that alligator gar almost got me. He soaked me all the way up my arm. He was going after my fingers. Wow. Don't you go biting me. So yeah, this here is the water running over from the 4,000 into here. And if you can see, we have this here. This is the overflow. And it runs back into the pool. So this water here always stays fresh and clean and good, because the 4,000 gallon tank is the one that gets the main amount of water from the filtration system. So then we're pulling off of it into the 3,000. But, oh, and there's Betty. Here, why don't you kneel down there and get her to come over to you so people can see her. Anyways, that's how we're keeping things going. And you know, even people that are doing, you know, stuff with tanks all the time. Oh, there's our little one. Things can get out of hand of real quick. So, you know, accidents happen, and we had about, I don't know, 4 years of our lives into that tigrinus, and we were just sick, me and Josh both. You know, we didn't know why he was acting that way. There was no signs of sickness or no nothing. And there was no reason to point to nitrate poisoning, because we're under the belief our nitrates are between 10 and 15 at all times. Without knowing that hose got kinked and they built up like that, now it makes sense. We can look back and say we could have saved that fish. But we didn't know. So new people make mistakes. Even seasoned veterans make mistakes. Things happen all the time in the fish world. So, Tracy, got anything else to say?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And share.
And share. And don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Very
And
good. Wait. You're trying to get ahead of me. Say it one more time.
Stay fishy, my friends.
There you go. Bye, guys.